welcome to another episode of Storytime with Rachelle. Apparently, my grandmother watches these things. Hi, Grandma! And wants to know what the point is, because sometimes my stories don't have a point. Sometimes they don't have a point, and I just like to tell stories. I'm sorry. But I will just point out that this one is actually going to have a point, and it is know yourself. I talked in other video about having an authentic performance, and that's the number one thing you need to have an authentic performance. You need to know who you are. And so most of my stories are about learning from my mistakes. So again, this will be along those lines. Learn from me and don't do what I do. So this happened a couple years ago. I was in a show, and it was seussical actually, and I played the role of Maisie. Super fun show, absolutely loved it. It's a great show, great music, love the role, it's fantastic. It was probably the worst show experience of my life for a lot of reasons, and most of those will come out in some of these story times, because it was actually really when I started just some insecurities in myself started coming out and really started affecting my performance. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of that stuff in future videos. But this one is really really goes along with the know yourself and don't be afraid to tell people kind of who you are. So one of the things that we had to do is Maisie's kind of a flirtatious kind of person, and so the director asked me to take this towel and, you know, do a little sexy thing and whip it at the guy and smack him on the butt with the towel. And I was like, sure, I can do that. And we have a short rehearsal period, and especially because Maisie's basically in all of her own scenes. I literally came for like one day, blocked all my scenes with the guy, and then never came back again until like tech. It was great. So I had like one rehearsal by myself where we just kind of blocked the scene, and then I just did them at tech and dress rehearsals, and that was like more of our rehearsal practice. So I'm getting all of my notes or anything that I'm needing to correct or anything like that. My rehearsal process basically happened in front of everyone in the cast, which really is fine, and seriously, people, like, be able to take notes and don't get super offended about it or whatever, because everybody gets notes and it's just trying to help you get better. So that normally would not be a problem for me to get notes in front of everyone. However, this particular one, again, because of the place that I was in my life, and because of the fact that then everyone decided that the note was that I needed to do a better job and make sure that I actually hit him with the towel and wrap it tight. Like, just, I wasn't doing it sexy enough. I'm not really sure. But I wasn't, and I wasn't. Sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't, and I couldn't figure it out. But then, because I got the note in front of everyone in the cast decided that they were going to tell me and, like, show me how to do it. So I would, like, people would come up and, like, be like, oh, can't you just do it like this? Da-da-da. And, like, whip it out. And I was like, well, I don't understand why you can do it and I can't. But, like, I had a serious issue with it. I just could not do it. And I literally, like, cried about it. It was terrible. This is not a story about a mean director, because my director is actually fan-flippantastic, and I adore him. And he had no idea that I was that upset about it. But really, I was that upset about it because I was, like, so upset that I was disappointing him and not doing a good enough job, and I was just, like, it was just terrible. But anyway, and I could not figure it out. Like, I could not figure out why the heck I was having such a hard time. It's like flipping a towel. Come on. And people kept saying, well, you know, just like, this is just what you would do, like, if you were trying to, you know. And so I completely just got it in my head that I just wasn't sexy and I wasn't capable of flirting or doing it, whatever. I don't even know. That's not really true. But I just could not get it. I couldn't make it work. And so I would try, and sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. And I got super nervous backstage. I mean, it was like a thing. And especially it was a thing because everyone in the cast, like, would talk to me about it and make it the thing and be like, come on, do a good job tonight, Rachelle. And I was like, thank you so much, because the entirety of my performance rests on whether or not I can flip a towel. Anyway, so like a week after the show, I was still upset about the fact that I could not ever make this work. And I was like, what is happening? Like, why can't I do this? I don't understand. What if I just, like, you know, why can I do it sometimes and not other times? Like, what if I just pick the dumb towel up and whip it? Like, why is this working? And I did it in my own kitchen. I just did it. And I was like, this works fine. I can do it every time. Like, what the heck? And all of a sudden I looked down and I was like, I am using my left hand. When I just pick up a towel and go to whip somebody, like, if I just was going to do that, I would use my left hand, because I am left-handed. Guess what hand I had to use during the show? My right hand, because we blocked it for a right-handed person. And that's how we had to do it, because that's, like, I came around that side and I had to use my right hand because that's how the blocking was. Never occurred to me. I understand that that's ridiculous that it didn't occur to me that I was using the wrong hand, but it really didn't. And so, yeah, whole time I was using my non-dominant hand, and which means I'm fairly ambidextrous, so sometimes it worked, but sometimes it didn't, because it was my right hand. So, yeah, getting to know yourself and making sure that you know which hand you like to use for things is kind of important, but also knowing that it's really okay for you to tell people, hey, that's not really going to work for me because I have this. And whether it's, you know, I mean, being left-handed is not a disability, but whether it's some sort of a disability or a, you know, even a personal preference, I would say, you know, there might just be some things that, hey, this just works better for me if I do it this way, or if I try it this way. You're going to get a better performance out of me if I'm able to use, you know, if I'm able to use my stinking dominant hand. But again, completely my fault, because I didn't say anything. I didn't even remember. Like, that's terrible. So yeah, know yourself and know which is going to work best for you, and what things are uncomfortable for you, or what things are going to be best for you to get the best performance out of yourself. And don't be afraid to share those with people. So yeah, there you go. Storytime with Rachelle.